Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is TamezTech and welcome to a new video. Today we are looking at a little bit of a more spicy team more than anything. If you are looking to climb, definitely do not use this team. This is a triple shadow team. It's definitely made for fun. I was getting a little bit irritated with the monotony of the meta, so I wanted to try something a little bit different. And as you can see, when I click this button here, you are going to see that we are looking at a Shadow CACTURNE lead in the Pokemon Go Battle League. This is the WILLPOWER Cup, so Shadow CACTURNE lead, hopefully hunting down these Claydol leads that we are seeing so often here. We're also using Drapion, Shadow Drapion as a safe swap. There's an argument to be made that using Ice Fang Drapion might be more useful just because you're obviously most of the time going to bait out either a fire or a Claydol. So if you can get some super effective damage into them with your fast move as well as your charge move, then you can definitely have a little bit more play. And we have Metang in the back. Metang, just a Pokemon I've been meaning to try this meta, and honestly it did not have as much play as I would hope. You will see towards the end of the video that we actually swap out Metang for Claydol because a certain little guy called Pawniard was definitely a massive problem for this team, and we just kept seeing it over and over and over again. But without much to say, let's go ahead and get into these battles, see what happened here. All right, so we get Greninja lead. It's definitely a cool lead, I think. We wall it. They swap in Qwilfish, and we swap in our Metang. Thankfully this wasn't a Drapion. I was able to identify it quick enough. And apparently my chat was telling me here that they usually run Aqua Tail Ice Beam for some reason. So I'm like, okay, well, if they're not running Shadow Ball or Dark Pulse or something like that, then I guess I'm not going to shield here. It looks like I can survive two Aqua Tails pretty comfortably. And they throw right away, so they don't even threaten a big move anymore. I should be able to either get a shield with the Side Shock or just fully knock out, since it is single resisted as opposed to double resisted. Greninja comes in. We should be able to land a resisted Gyro Ball here. This is single resisted as opposed to double resisted with the Psychic Fangs. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I do resist all the energy on my CACTURNE, but I don't know if I want to take that damage. Thankfully, my opponent swaps out instantly. And they bring in a Ponyta, or a Rapidash. And look at all the damage we put in. My opponent actually doesn't throw their move there. Maybe we came in a little bit too fast with Drapion and they wanted to see if they got two moves off or not. But yeah, we just get the farm down there and that's a GG. All right, target found. We find Claydol. Unfortunately, they bring in Drapion. If we had Claydol in the back at this point, we would be definitely cooking. They bring in Drapion, and since they are up energy, I don't think I can ever flip this matchup. And if I do flip it, then my CACTURNE is down shields, and that's definitely not something you want to do. So let's see if we can pull something off this game. This mirror is definitely very tedious. They have a Moltres in the back, and I know this definitely isn't the ideal scenario of somewhere to put your Metang, but at least we can get some damage in here and force some energy out of them. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I need my CACTURNE to do so much work. There is only resistant fast moves left in this game, but thankfully my opponent instantly throws a fly into my Drapion, so that's pretty cool. I should be maybe able to farm this Claydol all the way down and have a move ready for the Drapion. I think my game plan here is if Moltres comes in, I Dynamic Punch them. If Drapion comes in, I Trailblaze. They come in a little bit too quick there, and I Fat Finger the Trailblaze, and that basically loses us the game. They can snipe with Drapion there, which honestly, I don't think it would have mattered much because they still survived the Sucker Punch. But yeah, that's a GG to my opponent, unfortunately. All right, we find Claydol lead in the next match once again. This Claydol overfarms. I don't know. Do not ask me any questions about this Dynamic Punch. I don't want to hear it. Very big mistake by me, honestly. But we should be able to fully Poison Sting this Sableye down. Honestly, I'm just putting myself in really tricky situations for no reason. I just saw the Dark type. I thought it was a Drapion, so I wanted to DP it. Oh well. Also, I should have crunched here. Crunch would have actually knocked out this Claydol. So since I Aqua Tailed, it won't. So I have to throw both of my moves here. They do have a Hatterene in the back though, and we've walled this thing with Metang, so let's see if we can make something happen. These Fury Cutters aren't resisted. Thankfully, Hatterene is Psychic and Fairy type, so these Fury Cutters are actually neutral damage. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, I have to shield, and maybe I could just Fury Cutter this thing all the way down. My opponent gets knocked out with both shields still remaining, and we take that game. All right, on to the next match. We have Rapidash in the lead. Definitely not ideal. We bait out this Claydol, which is definitely ideal. This is a very ABB line to Claydol, as you can see. So we bait out the Claydol. We throw this Aquatail on alignment just so I can guarantee shield advantage. I don't want them to be able to throw energy and then I'm just kind of cooked. They do have a lot of energy against my CACTURNE here, but I will actually no shield this move. Put it all on my Metang. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Okay, it's a Mandibuzz in the back. Definitely not ideal, but I think we still have play. These Gyro Balls should be able to knock out in 2 Gyro Balls thanks to these neutral Fury Cutters. So let's overfarm a little bit here. I don't really want to throw a Gyro Ball yet because I know it doesn't knock out. And if Rapidash comes in, Jesus, I keep calling it Ponyta. If Rapidash comes in, we can have more than one move ready for them. They come in here. I'm going to bait with the Psyshock, which is really risky, but I have to. And I have to make a catch. We actually count. For the first time in my Pokemon Go Battle League career, we count moves. We catch the Mega Horn, which is double super effective onto the CACTURNE. Even if they fully undercharged that thing was going to knock out. And we're able to outpace and take the game. Fun fact, Mega Horn does 240% to Shadow CACTURNE, so that could knock out almost an entire family, unfortunately. All right, here's the tricky lead. We see Pawniard on the lead. They counter save swap Claydol into our Drapion, and this game is just crumbling down. Holy crap. We need to have a miracle happen here. My opponent smartly throws their Rock Tomb really early there. But that does allow a farm down for us here. And I mistakenly trailblazed this Pawniard. I should have just DP'd them. I was so confident they would shield. I thought I could get some sucker punches in, but when I saw what those Fury Cutters were doing, it was so bad for us. I believe, unfortunately, that is definitely going to lose us this game. If I DP the Pawniard there, it's just a clean win here. I believe that Psyshocks plus Fury Cutters should be enough to take out this Murkrow. Which you will see that it actually is, especially with these 2 shields. But yeah, since that Pawniard is still alive in the back, then they're just gonna outpace us here to a Night Slash, and that's gonna be a GG. Very, very tremendous misplay by me. That would have been a 1 game easily, but oh well. You win some, you lose some, and then you lose a few more, and then a few more after that. On to the next battle here. We got Drapion lead. This is abysmal. We have to swap in our own Drapion here, kind of try to neutralize this thing like we used to do with the Cradley and the what was it, the Dedenne video or the Chargebook video or something like that. But yeah, we just bring in our own Drapion, see if we can just get rid of this thing. We do survive 2 Aquatails, so we should be able to land 2 as well. Let's see what my opponent wants to do. We wait the turn there just to make sure they're staying. Doesn't really matter though. I don't think we get to another move with anything anyways. They have Murkrow on the back, so we bring in our Metang. Dark Pulse will definitely just knock us out clean though, so we have to shield before them, which is definitely not great. I think at this point I'm thinking, okay, maybe I need to make a catch on my CACTURNE, but I don't even know if that's really going to win me the game either, because there's Drapion in the back and I need my shields, and I don't know. This game's just really crumbling. I'm kind of just waiting for my opponent to make a misplay. But I mean, we are in a little bit high of an elo, so that might not happen. We're actually able to snipe down the Murkrow with our CACTURNE, and they have a Sableye in the back. They catch with Drapion, but at this point this Sableye needs 2 moves, and now that my sucker punches are boosted, we can actually farm them all the way down right as they get the back-to-back foul plays, and we actually win that game. Pretty ridiculous win con there, huh? All right, we find our target in the next match, but once again, it's very, very difficult to actually keep switch advantage with this team. This Rapidash though, they throw super early, so I don't really have to respect a body slam from them. A Mega Horn would definitely one-shot us, but a body slam, I'm kind of chilling. I can tank one of those. They can never tank an Aquatail, so we're always going to come out with shield or switch advantage out of this matchup, which is definitely really decent. So yeah, it looks like we just get switch advantage. We get a little bit of energy for the Claydol in the back too. And it looks like this Claydol's only going to get 3 Mud Slaps out of here. So they swap out right away. There's some Murkrow in the back, and this is looking a little bit tricky, honestly. I think my win con here was to no shield this, which it is. We rock tune this Murkrow, and we debuff their peck damage. So what can we do here? I think we have to Trailblaze, boost our damage, win the Captai against Murkrow because they were at back-to-back. And hopefully we can Sucker Punch down the Claydol, and we do. The damage from CACTURNE is absolutely hilarious. When it works, but when it also works, it doesn't work. That is how CACTURNE works. All right, we see Mandy in the next lead. Definitely not a good lead. We swap it to our Drapion. They respond with Qwilfish, and honestly, once again, this isn't really a bad matchup. They actually Ice Beam here, which I think is a severe misplay because you definitely always want to throw the double Aqua Tail there, right? So we're able to one shield farm this thing down. I guess we're actually gonna let go of switch advantage. Okay, now we have this Claydol. So yeah, I guess we don't really need switch advantage against this Mandibuzz if it just cooks both of our backline Pokemon, right? So I'd rather have Claydol than CACTURNE into this thing. We actually catch a debuff Dark Pulse here, which is really good for us. But unfortunately, that just gives this Pawniard a little too much energy, believe it or not. Those 6 Fury Cutters I think they got out of our entire health bar is just enough to actually win them this game. We're going to try our best here. We actually get the Scorching Sands debuff, which definitely helps a lot. I couldn't really send the Rock Tomb there because it was too risky. They bring in Mandy, but unfortunately Mandy still has a shield, and even though Mandy's pacing is terrible now, with you know, the new Aerolays getting nerfed and stuff, they can still outpace the Dark Pulse, and that's a GG, unfortunately. On to the next battle here. These battles are really quick, as you can tell. We see Moltres in the lead. Not a terrible lead. Honestly, the Sucker Punches are resisted. And we should be able to gain a shield advantage here, right? Dynamic Punch should knock out, right? Wrong. It does not. It leaves them at 1 HP. This person must have like a really decent Moltres, honestly. So yeah, they bring in Rapidash. I'm just gonna stay in, get these boosted Sucker Punches into them. Honestly, like, they're already at less than half HP. I should be able to bring in my Drapion. If they full send, they full send. If they don't, then I still have a shields up Claydol in the back. They have their own Claydol, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can get to another Aqua Tail and force their finest shield, and I can. You could argue that I should have banked this move and just bring in my own Claydol, but I mean, we don't really have to respect anything from this Claydol anymore. We got the Crunch debuff. They get the attack debuff, but if anything, that just gives me 1 extra Mud Slap, and now I actually come out with a move against this Rapidash, and we're able to knock it out. So GG's to my opponent there. Very unlucky with the debuffs. They actually got the Crunch debuff onto them, which was bad, and then they got the Scorching Sands debuff onto us, which was also really bad. Okay, Trinky lead in the next match. We see Murkrow lead. We're answered with Sableye onto our Drapion. This isn't a terrible matchup, especially with non-shadow Sableye. We can totally survive a Dazzling Gleam or whatever they want to throw. They actually bait the Foul Play, so we're able to outpace to this Crunch and either force shield or switch. Not that we really need any of them. They come in with Murkrow. They're going to shield and farm us all the way down, but this Poison Sting damage is valuable. And if you see what I'm seeing CACTURNE 2 shields, baby. So let's freaking go. Let's take these super effective Drill Pecks, and every time they throw a move, we get an extra Sucker Punch into them. So for every 1 move they get, we get 2 moves. So let's see if we can farm this thing down. We can actually get to this Trailblaze, and if it's a Claydol in the back, they're going to have to shield this, which it is. But it's not a Claydol, it's something even worse. It's more Peko, and that thing gets cooked by our Claydol. That's a GG to my opponent right there. Alright, terrible lead in the next match. I actually try to stay in here because I'm like, oh, come on, dude, it's Sucker Punch. Nope. Double super effective, non-stab, non-shadow Fury Cutters completely destroy our CACTURNE. And this game is just already looking like a tragedy. Thankfully, we bait out this Greninja, which is awful for our Claydol, of course. They do give us a sneak there. They want to play to the cap time, make sure we don't throw a move before them. I'm just going to bring in CACTURNE here, get rid of all their energy, and maybe I can farm them down, make something happen with Claydol in the back. It's probably Mandibuzz. It is. Let's see if we can make something happen. Again, we have an energy lead. They actually try a catch with Matang. I should have called this Psyshock. I think this loses me the game. I thought it was a Gyro Ball. It wasn't. I'm able to double debuff them now. They're permanently debuffed here, but we're just so low on HP thanks to the Psyshocks that I just don't know if we can ever take this game. My opponent double shields the first 2 Rock Tombs. I should have called this Aerial Ace. This was my last hope at a win con. If I call that Aerial Ace, maybe we have a win con, but to be fair, the game has been over for quite some time here. So that's a GG to my opponent right there. I should have called the Psyshock, I guess, but Shadow Claydol just a little bit too squishy for us there. On to the next battle here. We have a few more battles to check out. Let's see what we got in the lead. All right, Pawniard. I love this Pokemon. You guys have heard before from me that this Pokemon is really, really fun, and I love him, and he doesn't absolutely core break the crap out of my team. So let's see. They actually throw Night Slash on the Captai, which is really, really weird. I don't understand why you would want that chip damage, but especially with a Claydol in the back. I mean, we still get our crunch here. I throw at the very last second to see if they'll throw energy or not, but they don't, obviously. And we can just bring in CACTURNE here. I don't really know if I need my CACTURNE at this point, but maybe I should keep it around because, I mean, Pawniard is definitely going to cook my Claydol a little bit too. So if they bring in Pawniard, we bring in Claydol. They have a Sableye in the back. I get a sneak there, but I make a mistake. I shield here. Unfortunately, once again, I don't think it would have mattered. I'm going to have to shield my CACTURNE onto that Sableye, and if I do, then they just throw a move with Pawniard. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to lose this. I mean, to win this game. My win con was to get to these back-to-back Trailblazes, but this Pawniard just have a little too much residual energy for us, and they actually win that game. Very, very tragic loss there. But I feel like Shadow CACTURNE, I mean, it's definitely a fun pick more than anything, right? We see a really good lead in the next match. We see Sableye. We should be able to just Trailblaze this thing and completely knock it out. And if they're staying in here, then they definitely don't want to. I make a little bit of a misplay here. I should have thrown a lot later just to have some energy. It is Mandibuzz in the back. We bring in our Drapion, and it's a Claydol in the back. So this is looking a little bit eerie. I'm going to throw my Crunch right away once again. If I get a debuff, that's fine. But I just want to guarantee that I get a shield advantage out of this matchup. I mean, that we get shield parity. I predict that my opponent is just instantly throwing the Rock Tomb, which they do. Now I can swap in my my CACTURNE here and get a fully powered Dynamic Punch into this Mandibuzz. But unfortunately, once again, Mandibuzz is just proving a little too difficult for my Claydol to deal with. I'm obviously going to shield the first move here because it's not debuffed, and we're still really healthy that they're probably not going to full send a Dark Pulse. My win con here is that they swap into Claydol, and I get enough energy out of this matchup to knock them out. They debuff us, which is definitely a misplay because we get more energy. And we're actually able to win the Captai against the Mandibuzz, get this debuffed Rock Tomb off, but it is Shadow Claydol, so we're still able to knock them out and take that final game. All right, guys. Well, that is the last fight, the last game of this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. This was definitely a bit of a stressful video to make because we definitely didn't win a lot of matches. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below. We also as well have all of our socials up there. We have Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter as well. I have my TikTok up there, and I stream on Twitch every single day, sometimes on weekends. Come check me out if you want to find out if I do or not. And we also have a link to the Discord channel down below, so if you guys want to join the community and kind of talk about Pokemon and all sorts of stuff, feel free to join the link down below. But without any further to say, I know this was a little bit of a shorter video, but regardless, once again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.